Okay, we're going to in true teacher style, we're going to start off with a little quiz, okay? Now, how we decide what to teach every day, every year is driven by what are known as the TEKS, T-E-K-S, the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, T-E-K-S, all right? So I'm going to read you a TEK, and your job is to tell me what class this belongs to, what course, okay? All right. Number 9, personal financial literacy. The student applies mathematical process standards to manage one's financial resources effectively for lifetime financial security. And the student is expected to A, explain the connection between human capital, labor, and income. B, describe the relationship between the availability or scarcity of resources and how that impacts cost. C, identify the costs and benefits of planned and unplanned spending decisions. D, explain that credit is used when wants or needs exceed the ability to pay, and that is the borrower's responsibility to pay it back to the lender, usually with interest. Correct, gentlemen? Yeah. Okay. List reasons to save and explain the benefits of a savings plan, including for college. And F, identify decisions involving income, spending, savings, credit, and charitable giving. So, guesses, which course?
Woodshop.
Economics? Woodshop? Interesting. Any other guesses? 3rd grade math.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
3rd grade math. Look it up. I'll send you the link. What 8-year-old do you know that walks around knowing that stuff? Maybe one of your kids or a Birchall.
Come on.
Right? 8th grade math. So when you hear the criticism they're teaching to the test, we better be. No 8th grader wakes up knowing that stuff, do they? So, what I put in front of you today are our board goals, which sounds like a snoozer kind of conversation, and it might be. But let me tell you, as a school district, we're pretty excited about it. The first ones under the first goal is a diploma from Sealy ISD means that you're prepared for whatever comes next. Good morning.
Morning.
The first one says 75% of graduates will be college ready, industry certified, or enlisted in the military. If we've had them for 13 years and they're not proficient for one of these things or prepared for one of these things, we've wasted their time, haven't we? Because a kid who graduates from Sealy High School ought to be able to go to college, go to a trade school, enter the military, or go into a job that pays well enough to earn a living that he can live on and raise a family. So that's our commitment. And right now we've got 75%, but we're going to keep raising that every year till every kid who walks across the stage hits one of those things, because we believe in it. The next 3 have to do with exactly what your little test you just took. That STAR test, that EOC test that we hate, just for the record, that's not us. Those were not our ideas, but that's what we're held to. So the next 3 had to do with our kids doing well on them, because it's high stakes for our kids. Very, very high stakes for our kids. So we're going to be paying a lot of attention to that this year. The second one good teacher can change the world. Are any of you in the professions that you're in because of somebody that kind of pointed out something that you were good at? Or, yes? Do any of you still carry any beliefs in your heart as a result of something that somebody said to you when you were maybe 12? I still think I can dance. I probably can't. But somebody when I was 12 told me I could. That's how important a teacher is. So the second goal, one good teacher can change the world. That's us investing in our teachers. And I really like the first one. Faculty will be trained to identify and incorporate individual strengths. That's not just for the teachers, but that's for the kids. Think about kids. If there's something they're terrible at, guess what they get to spend most of their time on? Whatever they're terrible at, right? But what if we turned that upside down and somebody really was very good at something and we fostered that as well? Yeah, they're going to have to hit a minimum level on some of these other things. But what about instead if we found that thing that they're great at And that's what we fostered, and that's what we nourished. How would that kid feel about himself? What might they be able to do if we put our energy into that? That's turning school on its head. And that's what this second one means. The last one is really what I'm here to talk about. The others have just kind of been lead-ups. Educating our students is a community effort. So that first one, 85% or more of our parents and students are aware of learning goals. If you ask a kid what they learned in science today, what do they tell you? Science. But what if they said, yeah, she's trying to teach us how to calculate density of an irregular object? What? But if they did tell you that, if they were able to tell you that, could you help them at home a little bit more? Would it make a difference? I'm old. As the Sealy News told the world, I'm 54 in the magazine. And I had the opportunity to learn so many things just by being on this earth. Our playgrounds were fun. We had simple machines all over the place. We had teeter-totters, right? You know? You notice what they look like? I mean, they went clear up to here. I know they did. But now they're just these little things. And so kids don't have the opportunity to learn a lot of these same lessons that they used to learn on the playground or doing work that had to do with measuring and had to do with estimating and all that stuff. So right now, it's very important that whenever we have an opportunity to teach our kids an authentic lesson, we need to do that. So under this category, educating our students is a community effort. We're going to do a better job of letting parents know what it is their kids are supposed to be learning. How many of you use Twitter? Okay. What if you got a tweet on Monday morning saying, this week, all the second graders are working on their multiplication tables for 3s and 7s? Would that make a difference in your conversations you have with your kid that week? What if you got a tweet that said, in economics this week, we're talking about the national debt? Wouldn't that be an interesting conversation with your high school kid? So we're going to do a lot better job at that this year, letting parents know what it is that we are expecting their kids to learn. The second one, the district engages 100 or more external stakeholders annually in meaningful ways. Let me define meaningful ways. Raise your hand if you've ever been frustrated with someone who didn't know how to count change. Right? Well, yeah, me too. But what if, when you had your kid with you in tow and you went to go check out at Bill's and they had a little button that said, ask me about counting change? You might be more inclined to pay with cash, and then there's an immediate lesson for your kid that makes perfect sense because it's in context and it's authentic, it's for real, and now you've got an adult paying attention to a kid in the community, which we always like, right? So this is really ambitious, and I think it's something that can galvanize a community, which I believe is one of the responsibilities of the school district as well. What if, when a kid went to any business here, or not any business, but participating businesses, if there was an authentic lesson that that person would take 1 minute and teach that kid? What kind of feeling would that give to the kid? What kind of feeling would it give to the person giving the lesson? Do you know how fun it is to teach? And to be able to give a one-on-one lesson to a kid or a family about something you're doing right there. So now you've got customers that are excited about coming there because they know they're going to have an interaction with, you're going to have an interaction with their kid. The kid's going to learn something, and probably, in all fairness, a lot of the parents will learn something as well. And now if you're that business owner, now all of a sudden, you know that you're going to be a partner with Sealy ISD, and that's going to be up on the website. And so if you're going to get your hair cut, and you're not sure whether you want to go to this place or that place, but this place is going to talk to my kid and teach him something, that's an easy decision. So that's a good thing for businesses, isn't it? A good way to bring them in. It's good for the kids. And then we're not asking for any money. We will. we'll take it. Happy to take it. But that's not what we're asking for. We're asking for genuine partners in educating our kids. Because as you heard, this is hard stuff. This is hard stuff. And we need our community to help our kids learn it as well. So these are our board goals for 2017, 2018. And see, it's not a snoozer, is it? If you just read this in the newspaper, you'd go, oh, how exciting. But you see why I'm fired up about it? That's all I have. Any questions? So when I come knocking on your doors, Chamber of Commerce people, please say yes to be a partner with us in this. Thank you.